For our meeting today, we are going to be evaluating the rigor of our curriculum in response to some of the network's questions that came out of my concerns of the alignment of the network's integrated math curriculum and ours, and the challenges we've seen with assessments with network not being appropriate for our students. And we're going to double dip here. So we're going to do that task, but we can also use that task to help us make our semester exam. So what you'll need to do this is the worksheet you see on the screen in front of me, and you can use this digitally or on paper, whatever's best for you. You'll need your annual plan. So I'm open up my annual plan. You'll need your appropriate network annual plan, and they're linked here. So I teach IM1, so I'll open up this one. And then this spreadsheet that compares the IM courses. If you open it up, you'll see the math sequence, or maybe down here, these different tabs. Again, I'm teaching IM1, so I'm going to go there. And then the last thing you need to open is the SVMI website and go to the Mars task portion of their website. So log in. And these are the resources that we'll be using to help us complete this task today. So the summary task is, well, first thing we'll do is identify the units from our Christa Ray IM course that overlap with the network's IM course. Look how the units and benchmarks overlap, and we'll indicate them below. So I'll do that right now. We'll do this first step. And I can use this spreadsheet, and I'll have printouts available, or you can also use this digital sheet. So if we look, we can see that their names, clearly these don't align, but we can look at one variable statistics and see, does that come up later on? Right, we can see talking about center and spread. We can talk about categorical data. And a lot of these align. So we can go back to our worksheet and say, unit one variable statistics aligns with unit 9. I'm sorry, unit 9 modeling and data. And I can kind of continue. I can see the unit 2 of ratios and proportions doesn't really align with any of these units, right? So I would leave that one out. Similarity and congruence. Right, we can look at these benchmarks and determine which of these benchmarks align. This talks about angles, perpendicular and parallel, rotations, reflections, translations. This talks about congruence. This talks about triangle, congruency, and theorems. And we see that this one actually is has a little bit of both. So I might need to put it as unit 3, proving congruence, similarity, or of polygons. And I could say that it aligns with unit 6, and unit 7. Whatever that name is, and then unit 7. Okay. So that's the first piece. And I finish that and go through all of that. So for task 2, I'm then going to focus on the units, if any, that overlap during the course of the first semester. So for example, in IM1, I will teach both of these units this semester. So I would pull any of the Christa Ray units that align. So I know that unit 6, 7, and 9 all align. And they're from the first semester. Right? I might say that unit 5 from IM1 aligns with unit 2, but I'm not teaching that this semester. So I'm not going to use that for task 2. So I wrote these down. And now I go to the Christa Ray network IM1 annual plan. And I'm going to be just taking a list of all the Mars tasks from Christa Ray network unit 6. So I click on unit 6. You can see there's a lot here. If you want to copy and paste, you can do that. I can't. And I can just retype it. Right, and you can see it all appears. Just format that nice and clean. And there we have our Mars test from Unit 6. So I did the same thing then with Unit 7, and I have a list of them there. That's all I have to do for task 2. Then for task 3, we're going to pick 3 Mars tasks from this big list here, right? You're going to pick 3 of them, and we're going to do the anticipation sheet. And I'll show that in a moment. I would suggest with your co-teacher, coordinate who picks what Mars tasks. The reason being is you can also potentially use these Mars tests for your semester exam. So if you all look at the same 3 Mars tests, you've looked at less options. But if we divide and conquer, it's a little bit easier. So from this list, you pick 3 different Mars tasks, and then you complete the anticipation sheet. So maybe I did the superposition Mars task. And then I'll go to the SFMA website and I'll find superposition. And I can download the task, right? And I can work through the task. And once I work through the task, I then fill out this sheet. Where do I think students will show success? What parts will they be successful on? What does it indicate in terms of mathematics? Where will they struggle? What will they be unsuccessful? What does it indicate they don't know yet? Right? And again, that's for the Mars test from the first semester. Lastly, I'll answer this question. Looking at that Mars task, how does it align or not align with both the content and the rigor of our course in that unit? Okay, so you'll do that for 3 Mars tasks, right? And again, you do this digitally or on paper, and then I'm happy to make a copy of it, or you can share it with me. And hopefully with doing this exercise, you'll identify the Mars tasks as well that you can use on the end of semester exam.